Trying to get this camera right. I don't like how it's looking up like that. All right, and here we go. Hey, what's going on, y'all? It is AVIOT Sunday Brew. I was gonna say the AVIOT podcast. I mean, we're affiliated with the AVIOT podcast because obviously we're still the co-hosts here to talk with you all live. How you doing today, Jay Random?
I'm all right, man. How you doing?
Doing all right. I want to say happy Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa to everyone out there. So, for those of you who don't know, I actually do celebrate. I have the Kanara and everything. Me and my wife have our display. Today's actually, what is it, the fourth day of Kwanzaa? Ujama. And so, Ujama, pretty much the principle states that we're supposed to support, uplift each other's businesses. So, it's really Black people, Black businesses, uplift our businesses, and try to support each other and keep on building. So I celebrate it because I like the principles. I like that it's a reset button, especially for Blacks in America and beyond. It really
hmm
promotes this Pan African nature. Just and that's a concept that I am agreeing with being in the Pan Africanist, not necessarily movement, but that mindset. I'm definitely one to support that. Yesterday, my wife and I we actually went to this event in DC at the Kennedy Center that was celebrating Kwanzaa. So,
Okay.
yesterday was Ujima, and it was a nice time to be together, just be one with everybody, just express unity. So I just wanted to state that. Now I know in our last Sunday Brew, we said we were supposed to do podcast episodes. However, I had a feeling that the holiday was going to take over, and so
Yeah.
because of the holiday, we weren't able to do anything. I know this week is probably going to be busy. I might try to put things out this week. I know that
Oh
you're definitely
yeah.
going to be busy.
Well, why would this week
Yeah,
be busy? It's just New Year's Eve, right? Unless y'all still do
still,
something on New Year's Eve. Y'all do
still
something
we
on New
go.
Year's Eve?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, yeah. I stopped that a long time ago.
Yeah, but we'll try and get something together. I might have to record way in advance. I was supposed to record in advance for this past week right here, but because me and my wife we had so much holiday festivities going on, we weren't able to. I wasn't able to really plan and do anything. So it is what it is. I think what I'm gonna do going forward, not I think, I know what I'm gonna do going forward, since we don't have a website. I want to build a website for chemistry. I'm still on the fence about how to do that, but in the meantime, I'm going to have YouTube operate as the Chemistry Productions website. So anything that's happening, whether it be with our podcast or with the actual company, I'm just going to filter it through the community section. What is someone saying?
Nah, shout out to everyone that's chatting in.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
and that's all good.
We always get
Um,
trolls every week. Every week.
yeah. So, real quick, you know what? We should probably list, if not this time on our show, list
Our
the
goals?
black owned companies that you said that you're supporting. So I like
Okay.
to know. Sorry about that. The rain. It's supposed to be a storm out here, so shut this door.
Well,
But
black owned company.
nah,
So
man.
I know my wife specifically, she supports Fumi the Label. Fumi the Label is a black owned company. This woman, she's responsible for making different outfits, and so that's pretty cool. I think there's a whole bunch of stuff that she supports specifically. Me, I'm not one that gives into consumerism. I just get things because I need to, whether it be clothes or whether it be electronics, but I'm
Yeah.
not really one to just buy things for the sake of buying. So,
hmm
but I will say at the event we were at yesterday at the Kennedy Center, there were black people promoting their books. There is a book called uh, Harriet something. It's like a reimagining of Harriet Tubman. So that's
Okay.
something that I think my wife wants to buy. I forgot it's Harriet something, and I don't want to go off. But you know what? What I'll do is I'll list like some black owned things or black made things to support. I'll list that and probably put it in a video or something for people out there.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
So what's new? Besides,
So, speaking of business, we got to talk about Mr. Businessman himself, Mr. Elon Musk, because it seems like this man can never get out of the news, and I feel like that's going to be something that we're going to go through for the next 4 years if things don't end up going sideways with him and MAGA, because
yeah.
we see that him and Vivek Ramaswamy, they've been promoting this H-1B visa situation, and Trump is siding with them, which is what the MAGA crowd does not like because they are not pro immigration. And for those of you who don't know, H 1B visas allow for people who are not American citizens to work in the country, or work for companies that are affiliated with the U.S. for a short amount of time. And so I wanted to get
Yeah.
your thoughts on that because I'm sure you know that story pretty well.
No, I mean, it's so you're right. I do know the story because of TikTok. I'm not really on Blue Sky like that, but TikTok is just going crazy. I'm also getting like a bunch of news updates. So what's really going on is it's crazy how MAGA is upset with how um, Elon is running his business. Elon's basically saying that in order to get qualified engineers, he has to get qualified engineers from out of the country. So one guy said it the best. I saw this one guy on TikTok. He said, "Well, why can't we just teach the Americans, if not now, start at a younger age, and see how that works." But my also thing is, come on, guys, listen, H1, these visas have been out for a long time, right?
May I say something right quick?
Yes.
I think in terms of the teaching, and this applies to a video that I had sent in our group chat with the
Yeah.
guy that was talking about Prince, Michael Jackson, Aubrey, and Kendrick. A lot of people like a ready-made product. They don't want to build or develop
Of
something.
course. Of
And
course.
so, yeah, but I'll get more into that video later.
But
But go ahead.
also keep in mind, Elon is also hiring overseas because he can get them cheaper.
Mm,
That's another thing. He's getting
that's
them
a very good
cheaper.
point.
So it's not been the fact that they're more qualified than us, they're cheaper than us too. So we have two double whammies against us.
Mm,
There might be, let's just think about it. It's a business, right? So if
mm,
you have two people that's qualified for a job, of course the company is going to hire the one that is cheaper. That's just it. I've been in I had interviews with companies, and I'm pretty sure they took the cheaper and the less qualified person because that person was cheaper, right?
yeah, they weren't
And
demanding as high of a salary.
exactly. And I know of a case where a friend of mine, he's a manager, no, he's a director for a company, and he hired someone that was on paper more qualified than he was. And we laughed about it. He was like, "Man, I'm getting this person cheap."
Hmm.
And I'm like, wow, that sucks because if you are doing that, then what about the American jobs? Like you're now you're literally giving away a job for someone that's not over here, but because they're cheaper. So that's always going to be a problem, right? But I don't have a problem with that. MAGA has a problem with that.
Right.
And that's the funny part. So it's kind of like MAGA is like America first, but uh Elon and Vaswami, they're like, no, no, I have to go out and get the tech. I have to go out and get the people. So it's just funny how everything's falling apart. And now Trump is actually siding with Elon. So what is
Hmm.
MAGA going to do? I don't know because they thought everything was going to come to them. You
Right.
know, they complain about DEI, but they're acting like they're privileged and they should get the job just because. And it's like, no, may the best man win and the cheaper man. Sorry. That's just how it is.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, we all called it. We said this was going to blow back in their face. In
Of
which
course. So
those who
soon.
supported Trump, yeah, it's like he never had a plan. He never communicated a plan,
Yeah.
and you just went on the hope that he would be better than the opposition because you thought the opposition, meaning the Democratic Party, they were going to do things that you didn't agree with fundamentally, whether it be supporting immigration, whether it be helping marginalized groups such as Black individuals, Latinos. But everything that you hope for in this candidate is going to blow back in your face, and you're going to end up getting worse than what you banked on.
So one of our Matt did say something that was interesting. He says American adults only read at the fifth grade level. I wonder,
Actually,
has
Matt, I
that
think it's the
changed?
eighth grade.
Because
I think it's the eighth grade, Matt.
yeah, I think it's eighth grade, but also I wonder if they did an update because I mean, okay, and I mean, what does that mean? A lot of people, I don't think that could be a lot of reasons, right? A lot of people are probably dyslexic, you know. That right, I'm telling you, being dyslexic is a serious thing. When you're
I don't think
dyslexic,
that's I don't think that's a large percentage of the population though.
no, not a large percentage of the population, but also you got to take in fact of our school districts, right? What are they doing? I remember I lived in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and I remember working for a nonprofit. In the nonprofit I worked for, we dealt with a lot of high schools, right? And a lot of the
Hmm.
high schools didn't have enough books, so they were literally photocopying the pages from this book to give to the students to do homework.
That's
So I
crazy.
mean, it's I mean, we talking about high school, right? In
Yeah.
Bridgeport, Connecticut has one of the highest taxes, and for them not to have enough books for the students. So I mean, it's a lot of reasons why the eighth grade reading level happens.
So
Believe me, I'm pretty sure people would love to read,
Matt
read
said
books. What's up?
we don't teach phonetics in school anymore. I don't remember when we did teach that in school. Phonetics?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when we did teach that in school, Matt. They taught that in your district, Matt?
Yeah, exactly.
Phonetics?
See, there you go. So it's a lot of things that are being left out of school because of your um demographic, right? Where you live at type thing. What does it make sense?
He said
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Exactly, Matt. Yeah, you're right, right? So so I'm sorry that's getting dark in the house because it's a storm.
Yeah,
So let me
man,
put a
I'm
light
looking
on.
at you like, what?
Yeah,
Damn, you a
yeah, let me turn the
vampire or
light on.
something?
Let
Shit,
me turn the light on.
we in the middle of the morning.
I know, it's storm, man. The storm. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot. It's a lot, but I mean, I don't think I think everything could be solved if we invest, and I don't think we're doing a lot of investing in the schools. You know, and now that they want to get rid of Department of Education, I don't think that's a plus. I think we're going. It's going to be worse. If we
It's
thought it
going
was bad
downhill really
now, it's going to be
fast.
worse. Huh?
Going
What happened?
downhill really going downhill really fast. I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
a repeat of the Bush administration from back in the '90s, and
What
then
you mean no child left behind?
no,
That
well, I
was a
mean,
disaster.
all the children gonna be left behind. But I think that
That was a
I think
disaster.
our
That was a disaster.
economy and the country is gonna be a
Yes.
repeat of that, and then there's gonna be this big blue wave later on. But
Yes.
yeah, it's too much. It's
It is.
way
It
too
is.
much.
It is. But thank you, Matt, for chiming in. I definitely agree. But we
Yeah,
have to do something. But once again, I feel like right about now, the bigger picture is uh, MAGA is upset because they feel like they've been lied to, and they never paid attention to what Trump said he was going to do.
he never
And when
said he
Trump
was going to
said
do
what he,
anything.
yeah,
He never came with a plan or a vision. He just talked a bunch of nonsense, and people just cheered for him at his rallies just because it was him.
yeah. And did you take a look at all the CEOs of all these major companies?
What
They're all
happened?
foreigners. They're all Indian.
A word?
Yeah. Google, of course, we know Google. Uh, I think they said Microsoft. They have a list. It's on was it Blue Sky?
Oh, you actually got a Blue Sky account finally?
Oh no, I do have a Blue Sky account. I do have a Blue Sky
Okay.
account. And some of
Blue
the
Sky
people
is
that
a
I
good way to.
follow on TikTok, I follow
Yeah.
on Blue Sky because when TikTok go away, I can still follow them.
Yeah. I mean, I think. See, I'm still up in the air about TikTok going away. I personally am indifferent because TikTok is a very bigoted platform. They promote who they want to promote. A lot of black creators have gotten the short end of the stick and they haven't been treated accordingly. So my thing is if TikTok goes away, I'm like, hey, that's karma for you, the platform. However, I feel bad for the creators and those who have grown a following on there. I mean, we have a pretty big following on there too. However, you don't put all your eggs in the one basket, right? So we've grown our followings elsewhere as well. So we'll still be able to reach people. The thing is with TikTok, I think that Trump might want to keep it around because I do believe a lot of the information that was spread on there did help his campaign. Because what we see is with the Gen Z kids, there's a big amount of, or a large amount of them that were actually supporting MAGA. And I think that was due to a lot of social media, those messages going around. So, in Trump's best interest, he might want to keep TikTok around to help him out. What do you
No, I
think?
agree. Totally agree. Totally agree. I mean, at the end of the day, TikTok isn't the problem, right? TikTok isn't the problem, and but I think Sorry about that. That's got a weather, a tornado coming in
Oh,
Gastonia. Sorry about.
hey
Let me
man,
mute my thing real quick. Hold on.
you down bad, bro. You down bad, real down bad. I think what you're trying to get at was
Sorry, it's clear
TikTok.
now.
Okay.
Yeah. So sorry about that, guys. For anyone who's listening. Yeah, it's raining real bad around here in
Mm.
Gastonia. But so it's greed. The reason why they want to get rid of TikTok, right? Because I can understand it saying, okay, we're either going to shut it down or you got to change your ways. No, they're saying we either we're going to shut it down or you got to sell it to us. So it's greed.
Yeah, because don't give me the threat to national security thing, because there are so many other things that are threats to national. I mean, we saw Russia done invaded Facebook in order to
Yeah,
get
why
Trump
Facebook's
elected the
not going
first
away?
time. Exactly. So don't give me that whole national security threat with TikTok. That's for the birds.
Yeah, exactly. And the problem is, if you think about it, TikTok is a danger to Facebook. That's who TikTok is a danger
That is
to.
very true. And that's why
And
Facebook is
Facebook,
trying to do things in order to mimic
exactly.
TikTok. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially with the Reels. Facebook ain't had Reels before. Now they got
yeah,
Reels because they try to mimic TikTok.
yeah. I mean, and so I feel like him trying to save TikTok would be probably in his eyes, a notch up from like, yeah, I did it. See, guys, I did it. Biden couldn't do it. I did it. And it's like, come on, man.
That's very
We're
true.
over it. We're over the little antics that he's doing. Because I'm telling you, I'm just waiting to see some more antics he's going to do. I'm not going to say it, but I'm pretty sure it's some more stuff that's going to come down, especially if he does get if he does save TikTok.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of saving, I think that and just pivoting.
Yeah.
Unless you got any more to say on this topic?
Sorry about that. No.
Okay. Speaking of saving, I think that hip hop at this point is beyond saving. That's what I mean.
Oh man, come
We've
on, hip
seen
hop. Oh.
we've seen a wave of individuals. Like I love the fact that we got the rap girlies coming into play. And I was telling my wife last night, I feel like Doechii was needed in order to level out the playing field. This is what I mean. We had Lotto, we had Meg Thee Stallion, we had well, City Girls are done, but Lotto, Meg Thee Stallion, you have Bia, you have Flo Milli. So you have that wave, right? More or less, they can be ratchet, air on the side of ratchet. Sometimes they may have a message, but usually it's ratchet. I've been supporting people like Ciroc and Rhapsody for the longest, but mainstream media doesn't promote them. But then you have a figure, Doechii, that comes out. And Doechii, I feel, is kind of balancing things out. She has her ratchet moments, yes, but most of the time she has a message in the music that she's putting out. And I feel that's great in terms of how the rap girlies are with hip hop because those are the major names right now. You got guys in hip hop, but unless we're going to the ones that have been household names, such as I got to put Aubrey in there, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, you don't really got dudes out there really in the mainstream that are really making music like that that's really hitting. So I think that rap is beyond saving just because in this time, though we have these artists, I feel that a lot of the old heads, a lot of their talking points are keeping it down and is going to stop the progression. What do I mean by that? You got people like Fat Joe, right? That's talking. And
Mm-hmm.
because hip hop isn't holding people like him accountable, I feel that it's going to end up being the detriment of the genre as a whole. I just want to get your thoughts. I said a lot of stuff, but I'm just of the mindset. I feel like hip hop is beyond saving. It's moving to another direction despite there being talent and despite the rap girlies keeping things afloat. I think that once like Kendrick and Cole and them are gone, I think we're going to see a massive like boom, it's going down. Like it's not going to be the same because you got the rap girlies, but it's like, do they make music like that that's really catching like
Yeah.
that?
Mm-hmm.
I said a lot of stuff, but want to get your thoughts.
Yeah. Cool. No problem. So, yeah. Let me address the Fat Joe situation first. So, my only problem with Fat Joe, because Fat Joe is the one that is complaining too, saying hip hop, this is the worst year for hip hop. And I'm like, bro, you only saying that because you came out with an album and nobody purchased it.
And
Let's
you
be honest.
and your performance at what was it? The Yankees game was
Yeah,
trash.
trash, right? So blame yourself. Don't blame hip hop. You're old,
Mm,
right? So since
mm.
you're old, probably time for him to find a younger artist and invest in it because no one's listening to Fat Joe. So for for Fat Joe to say what he said, I feel like, uh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I
rap will
agree to a
never
point.
go away. Yeah,
Hold a second. Hold on.
yeah.
No,
Play Plazo.
yeah,
Yeah,
Plazo. So I agree with Plazo saying, but no, I just wanted to say, so Fat Joe, he's bitter, right? Same thing with 50 Cent, bitter. I think a lot of people are
yeah.
just
Another old
sad.
head.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
think a lot of people are just sad because Drake was exposed and now Drake is trying to find himself, right? So
And
everybody
they
want
did
to
a
go
lot
back
of
to the,
backing. They backed him a lot. I
yeah, they
feel like,
backed him a lot and he
yeah,
failed, right?
exactly.
That's the main thing, right? I
Right,
really feel like if the shoes were on the other foot and Kendrick lost and Drake won, no one would be complaining. But
right,
understand, we still be having this watered down music that Drake has been producing. Like Drake has been producing garbage for the past 2 years, but no one said anything because it was melodic and you went to the club, right?
right,
But for the most part, he wasn't saying anything, right? And
right.
so when he and his ego got the best of him, and he felt like he was better than Kendrick, he realized Kendrick exposed him and called him for what he was. He's a fraud. He's a cosplay. He's a
Hmm.
colonizer. He only
Hmm.
does things to benefit himself. He's selfish. He's a snake. I mean, when everyone else was saying he was a snake, no one listened. But when everybody, well, it was just put out on the mainstream that Kendrick called him out and told everybody who he was, and now you're looking at him sideways, going, "Damn, well, he was our club savior. Who we got in the
Hmm.
club now? I don't know what to tell you." As far as
Hmm.
hip hop dying, I agree with Plazo. It would never die. It would just transform, and I do believe that we still do have a lot of MCs in the back burner that will come out, but and I do believe that the artists that we talked about, J. Cole, Kendrick, they will find artists that can pass the torch. That's what Dr. Dre did. I mean, all you
Yeah.
gotta do is find an artist that could pass the torch, right? Now, I know a lot of people talk junk about Baby Keem, right? Because we only heard one album and Baby Keem. But that album was done 2 years prior to it coming out. So I'm curious to see how he's going to come out with. I do believe PG Lane is going to do some amazing things once Kendrick stop doing what he's doing, but he has to now. I mean, he's hot, so he has to. But Kendrick wasn't supposed to come out with an album. It was supposed to be Baby King was the next to come out with.
Yeah, I feel like he had to right now,
Yeah, he
especially
had
with the
to.
Super Bowl performance. But this is what I feel like I fumbled over my hip hop is beyond saving bit.
Okay.
This is what I mean by that.
Yeah.
You have old heads, and I'm gonna get on Fat Joe in a minute, but you have old
Yeah.
heads. I'm glad you mentioned 50 Cent. Like people who have been staples in hip hop, like saying things now that is detrimental to it as a culture,
Yes.
right? Such as saying like this year is the worst or backing Aubrey, who is a fraud, right? So you have that going on. I was mentioning the rap girlies saying that I did it as an aside, but they're coming up, they got music, they got things that they're doing at this moment. I just don't feel it's enough because the rap girlies, though they're making quality music, once like I feel like Dolce does, I feel like Rhapsody does, they're not really making classic albums like that.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
So I feel like the guys we mentioned, they made classic albums. J. Cole,
Yes.
Forest Hills Drive. I know people like For Your Eyes Only. I ain't really care for that album too much, but he has classic projects. Then you have Kendrick. Almost every project Kendrick puts out is a classic, right?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing that with the rap girlies. So it's like while they might make a summer bop and it might be fun, I think the genre as a whole, because we don't have any substantive music that's actually going to carry and stand the test of
Hmm.
time, I think
Hmm.
hip hop's beyond saving. I feel like it's going to phase out and we're going to start gravitating to another genre.
Hmm.
Hip hop is still going to be here. It's never going to
Yeah.
go away. It's just we're going to go into another genre because I think that unless something crazy happens, we have this huge renaissance. I think it's past its time. Now, going on Fat Joe,
What do you
I
mean by
think
past this time? What do you mean? Oh, just clear that up real quick.
I feel like hip hop had its moment. It was
Hmm.
really big in the late '80s, '90s and then we got the big boom. I think the golden era is probably late '90s to the early 2000s. I think that's golden era hip hop, or maybe like late '90s would be golden era. Then we get to the early 2000s. That's when you see 50 come out, Kanye, Lupe Fiasco. Like you see Lil Wayne, all of them is like booming during that period. And then I think Aubrey comes in, and then you start seeing it kind of dip. hip hop just starts dipping because the quality goes down because of Aubrey. That's where you get your Future. Future, I know people think he has a run, but Future don't be saying nothing. You know what I mean? Like Future don't be saying nothing, and his sound is slowly fading out. I understand we don't trust you, we still don't trust you. Did well, but it's just like it's nothing new. You had the
Yeah,
Migos. The Migos had their run. That was a fun period. Takeoff's gone now, so it's like nothing's the same. So I think that we hip hop had a run, but I think it's gonna phase out. I may be wrong. I'm just saying this right now, and if I am wrong, I'll pull this clip up, and I will, if I can remember to pull this clip up, and I'll put myself on Front Street and be like, okay, I was wrong. But unless we have a huge renaissance, I think that's it for hip hop. I think it's over.
I think we
In
will
terms
have
of
a. Oh, I'm sorry.
okay, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think we will have a huge renaissance because remember, Atlanta was driving it now. Now it's back to the West Coast, right? It shifted. It's back to the West Coast now. Atlanta, for one point, was killing it. The Ti era,
Oh, that was a fun era.
the Outcast era.
Yeah,
You
that was
know, then
fun.
you had the 21 Savage, then
Ludacris. Ludacris
Ludacris.
was in
Then you
there.
had
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Then you had Young Thug. I mean, you had them, and that's all you could listen to. It was New York, then it went to Atlanta. It did a little bit of Texas between New York and Atlanta.
You think it's
But
ever going back to New York?
no, I don't think so because the sound. New York has to find a different sound. They
Right.
can't. They have to find a different sound. They can't continue with the boom bap.
But the
The
boom
boom.
bap will always be legendary. Remember for your wife's birthday, we were up in New Haven, right?
Yeah,
And we were at that club and they were playing the old hip hop tracks. It
yeah.
still got lasting power.
But that's the problem, right? It's old music though. We don't want to hear them.
Right.
We don't hear them the old tracks with new raps, right? Because then you're going to get he said NYZ cool man.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? CJ, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? 'Cause think about it, because then you're gonna have Melly Mel, right? Remember Melly Mel had that old school beat and
Okay,
try
well
to.
that's different though. That's different. That's different. What he was trying to diss
So
Eminem?
yeah,
You
exactly.
a
So that's what I
sucker,
mean.
yeah, sucker
Yeah,
MC.
it's
Like,
called
come on,
one,
ain't
two,
nobody
three,
rapping
four,
like
five,
this.
6, 7. Like what the hell
Ain't
is
nobody
going
rapping
on
like that
here?
anymore. Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. So that's what I mean by New York gonna have to change their style. Like, granted, they can change their style, keep the boom back, but they got to add something to it. Like we don't want to hear
Right.
no more. We don't want to hear no more music sound like we in the tunnel. And the tunnel is a club that used to be in New York. Tunnel is no longer there, so the
Yeah,
sound
yeah,
should be
yeah,
no
yeah.
longer
Yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. But I
But
want to circle.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Mhm.
Finish your point. Finish your point. 'Cause I'm about to get on
Okay, I'm
Fat
sorry.
Joe in a minute.
I'm sorry. No. So that's why I feel like hip hop will transition. It will go somewhere, and it may not be something we like to hear, but it's definitely going to transition somewhere else. What you gonna say about Fat Joe?
I just gotta get on it. You were saying how he got to bring out a younger artist. My thing is, when has Fat Joe ever been that dude? Fat Joe is only as strong as the artist he brings out, right?
Yes.
First, it was Big Pun. Big Pun's who made you relevant, bro. Right?
Yes.
I'm not saying you couldn't spit back in the day, but you weren't doing anything that
Correct.
was that much different from anybody else. Then Remy Ma. You had Remy Ma and Terror Squad. Fat Joe is only as relevant as the act that he has with him.
Correct.
So he has no one. He is not relevant. And I got to get on him too because he was talking about this FBA stuff, Foundational
I
Black
didn't like
American
that.
stuff. Now I made my video talking about the ADOS, FBA, all that stuff. For those of y'all who are wondering, go to the AVIOT podcast on streaming services and look up the ADOS. It's something. It's an episode that speaks on ADOS. And so yes, I have my issues with the foundational Black American movement and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But Fat Joe being not black, and you said you're not black. I thought he was Afro Latino. Obviously, he's not Afro Latino. Obviously, he's not.
Exactly.
You cannot comment on that. That is something we got to deal with as black people together. So we got issues with that. That's us. But you, as a non-black person, you can't be talking about black issues. You being too
Correct.
full of yourself, and you got to stop using the N-word too, because you ain't one. You ain't a black person, so you better stop using it. And that's what I'm saying. We got to hold people like that accountable. Like Fat Joe should not even have a voice in hip hop anymore. I don't care what you did in the past. It's about what you're doing today,
Yeah.
right? You're not
What is he
relevant
benefiting?
anymore.
He's not bringing anything.
You're not bringing anything. All you're doing is disrespect. And I'm glad Matt Hoffa took down that interview too that he did with Fat Joe, because like I feel people gotta check him. Whenever you say the N word, you gotta check him. And it's coming to the point where you got people like Andrew Scholes now they want to say things about hip hop. They don't have any skin in the game. Like we gotta start gate. Well, you can't gatekeep hip hop anymore. I think that's another reason why hip hop's beyond saving because we don't gatekeep anything anymore. I feel like Kendrick's trying to do that with the West Coast stuff, but no one else is following suit.
Yeah. So, about Fat Joe, yeah, I feel like Fat Joe is too comfortable, right? And you're right. I just, you and I have conversations offline, so I just have a problem with Fat Joe. One minute he's acting like he's Afro Latino, and then next minute he's like, "No, I'm not. I'm all Latino." And it's like, okay. So what? You the opt out boys, you opt in and opt out. Like we already looked at you sideways when you said it was Afro Latino. We was like, all right. I mean, okay, whatever. But now it's kind of like, oh, you're not. Okay, cool. So then, yeah, you probably should chill with the word because you say the word like you mad like.
I
And
mean, what's
also,
his biggest hit is Lean Back, and the first thing he says is the N word in that song. He's saying the N word left and right, and we supported that back at the time because I don't think we knew any better. Now we're looking at like, now you ain't black, dude. I don't even listen to Lean. Like it's an overrated track anyway. Ain't nobody listening to Lean Back. That's your only song. What
yeah,
else? What other song can you name from Fat Joe?
uh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, listen, I'm glad you remember Lean Back.
That's the only one I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. And that man got a lot of songs, but I can't think of anything else. So listen, man, that's why I feel like at the end of the day, man, I feel like that's why I feel like rap would be here, but we gotta just come out with better music. And you can't get mad when your album don't sell. If you didn't do anything, how can your album sell? If you're just coming out with the old Fat Joe hits, there's a reason why you was down with Digging with the Crates and you were like the least important person in that group.
And think about it. The only other hit he had, he needed Remy Ma and French Montana in order to make that a hit.
Yeah.
It wasn't because of you.
And that's the problem. It
All the
wasn't
way
because
up,
of him.
all the way up. The only reason people like all the way up is because of Remy, because she came out of jail or prison, whatever, and that was like the first big track she had coming out. That's the only reason people paid attention to that song.
Yeah, I agree. So that's why I feel like with Fat Joe, he got to chill. I mean, because you know we're over Fat Joe, right? And Fat Joe's is bitter. So Fat Joe, his words don't mean anything. 50 Cent, his words, as much as I used to rock
He
with
coming
50
off
Cent,
as he coming off as being bitter too.
yeah, his words don't mean anything as well. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like hip hop definitely thank you to Drake losing and Kendrick winning has been amazing this year. Let me tell you something. I have never ever experienced. You have never experienced, and I'm mad that we didn't do a reaction TV show on YouTube because we were in the moment. But when that battle started, that was amazing. I don't think we'll ever see
Oh,
something like that. We would
nah,
never
we
see
was on the
anything like
phone
it.
every day though. We was on the phone
Yes,
every day. I'll remember. I'll
yes.
remember. We were on the phone every day talking about that. Real quick,
A lot of people made money off of that
they did.
battle on YouTube with eating.
Real quick before you go, I know you got to
Yes,
head out.
yes.
I just wanted to ask because we're thinking about hip hop in general, like old heads in hip hop, who really ages gracefully except for like the real old ones, like from back in the 80s, the 90s old heads. You've seen a lot of them aren't aging gracefully. Diddy had his thing, right? And then Lil Wayne is spazzing out. Kanye, need I say more? Now you got 50 Cent. 50 Cent is going out down bad because now the rumor is that he backed Aubrey in this whole beef, and that's why he keeps kind of sending little digs at Kendrick and stuff because he mad because the man he backed
Hmm.
didn't win. So I'm saying it's like a lot of people ain't really aging gracefully in hip hop.
No, they're not. They're not. And it's sad because now they consider old men bitter, And shout out to Redman came out with a new album. I don't know if you know. Muddy
I
Waters too.
did. I ain't listened to it yet. How was it?
Yeah,
No.
I'm a Redman fan. I'm gonna tell you right now, it sounds like Redman in the '90s, and Redman's better than that. And that's what I mean by hip hop in New York, New Jersey, tri-state. It has to change, man. I understand you still a dope lyricist, but you got to change with your beat selection. Like you can't be like, oh, nah, I'm old, so I'm gonna stick to this type drum. Nah, man. if you want to be relevant, you got to adapt. That's how Pharrell stayed Pharrell. You
That's
know,
true. That's
that's
true.
how Pharrell is. That's how Pharrell stayed working, and Timbaland don't. Timbaland
I
don't work no more.
I will
Timbaland's
say,
not even washed up. Timbaland is just he can't change his style. Pharrell changes his style. It may sound like a Pharrell track, but still, he does something. So, I'm sorry, what you gonna say?
Timberland, but not Timberland because he had Justin Timberlake's joint. I think that was his last like major project,
What was
and
that? 3 years ago? 6 years ago?
that's it's a while. It's a while ago.
Exactly,
It's a while
exactly,
ago. But
exactly. Like, what's Timbaland doing besides being on TikTok and Instagram?
I was gonna say, Common came out with an album, and he had more of that boom bap sound. It actually sounded nice. It was nostalgic. I just
Oh, it
think
was
it
the
was,
one with Pete Rock, right?
yeah, it was just a
Yeah.
little too long. I wish he would have cut some songs, and then the song you have
Redman
with
got like 30 tracks on this album,
nah, man, nah. That's why
and I got
GNX
stuck
was
on
such a
3.
good. That's why GNX was such a good project because GNX short, sweet, and to the point. Matter of fact, no,
Yeah,
it was like 12. It's 12
12,
tracks.
12
Yeah,
tracks.
that's all hip hop album needs to be. Just
Redman
12
got at least
tracks.
24, 27 tracks. I was like, when I first, I saw the number, I wasn't even interested no more.
Nah,
So what am I
split that
listening to?
joint up. Split it up. Split it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, just well, as we head out, what's brewing for you this week, man?
It's New Year's, man. So I know I started off telling you my wife and I don't do anything, but no, we actually gonna do something. We're gonna get out the house, man. There's a lot of stuff going on in Charlotte, so we're gonna find something to do. And just chill, man. Just focus on the new year. Try to figure out how to move in these new circles, these new spaces that we're in. You know,
Yeah.
because it's for the next 4 years and beyond, man. It's gonna be crazy. So my goal is to appreciate what I have, what like I've always done, and just enjoy my life and my wife, and enjoy this week. Right, New Year's Eve, celebrate, be safe, and that's what I'm doing this week. Find something to do.
I
What's up
agree.
with you?
I
What's
agree.
brewing?
Well, got some videos that I want to get out on our social media platforms. Gonna work on trying to grow them some more, especially since TikTok is looking like it's not gonna be around. Um, I don't know, Star Fox. I don't know what you're typing. So you have that going on. Okay, it's all right. I'm tired of people trolling in this chat, man. We really do these Sunday brews in order to speak to you all out here, and
I guess he
in
can't
order,
spell, but I think I know what he's trying to spell.
yeah,
Oh
let's
god.
see, whatever. So we do these Sunday brews in order to speak with you all and have comprehensive conversations. So we have a list of topics that we go through in the Sunday brew episodes, and what we want is for y'all to make comments based off of those topics so we can have a discussion. So that's the point of this. But
Is
there'll be
Matt
a
still
lot of
here? Hopefully Matt's still here so Matt can talk to Star Fox. Matt's right.
yeah.
Matt also need to put, besides the fact that adults read at 5th grade level, you probably also got to put in the fact they can't spell either.
They cannot spell. They cannot spell. If you're gonna insult people, at least spell it correctly. I mean, come on now. So I got some content I want to put out, and then also just planning for the new year. I know I said that we're gonna route all our messages through YouTube, so this is gonna act as our de facto web page until we actually
Yes.
have a website. So basically, y'all, YouTube is going to be the website for Chemistry Productions, AVIOT Podcast. All of our stuff is gonna filter through here
Yes.
until
Yes.
we actually get a website. So there's that. But anyways, Jay, it was nice having this
Yes. Yes.
conversation with
Same here,
you.
cuz.
Once again, happy Kwanzaa to everyone out there. Happy Kwanzaa to you.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we will be talking.
All right. Peace.
All right. Peace out.